Cameron Daly had been dreaming of fire again. A narrow hallway, red lights blinking overhead, and distant screams echoing through concrete. He wandered, barefoot, unable to find a door. Every door he opened led to another corridor, each one darker than the last. But the sound that haunted him most wasn't the screams. It was the whispers. Dozens of them. Soft, layered. Male, female, children, a chorus of lost voices. He'd been having these dreams for a week. And every night, they ended the same way. A door opens. Inside, a man with no eyes whispers, "It's coming." September 11, 2001, 6:45 a.m. Cameron stepped off the PATH train and made his way to the North Tower. The city was just waking up. Street vendors were setting up, and the usual morning buzz echoed through Manhattan. But the moment he entered the lobby of the North Tower, a chill crept over him. Something wasn't right. He couldn't explain it. The building just felt wrong. The fluorescent lights flickered more than usual. The air was unusually cold. As he passed security, a man in a charcoal suit brushed by and muttered under his breath, "Don't go up there today." Cameron turned. The man was gone. He reached the 93rd floor at 7:58 a.m. A thin layer of dust coated the floor outside the service closet. He frowned. That wasn't normal. As he knelt to unlock the door, he heard it again. Whispers. This time, not in his head. In the walls. At first, they were faint. But then he heard it clearly, from behind the wall to his right. A woman's voice, soft and trembling. "We never left." He jumped back. Heart racing, he opened the service door, but found only tools. No one was there. He turned around and saw a figure at the end of the hallway. A man in a torn suit, blackened by soot, staring at him silently. Then, he vanished. 8:46 a.m. A deafening roar. The tower lurched. Windows shattered. Alarms blared. Smoke poured in from the hallway. Cameron hit the ground as debris rained from the ceiling. He crawled toward the stairwell. The building trembled like it was alive. He passed a mirror shattered by the blast and paused. Behind him in the reflection, a dozen figures standing silently. Watching. Burned. Bloody. Expressionless. But when he turned around, no one was there. He reached the stairs, but his radio was dead. Cell service gone. In the silence, he heard the voices again. "Don't run. Don't forget us." As Cameron descended floor after floor, the air thickened. Not just with smoke but with presence. Figures stood motionless in the stairwell, charred silhouettes glowing faintly, like reverse shadows. He passed floor 87. Door locked. Behind it, pounding fists. Cries for help. Screams that faded to whispers. And then, a child's voice behind him. "You're not supposed to be here." He turned. No one. But he knew. He wasn't alone. He was in the middle of something trapped. Something that had been building long before the planes hit. On the 65th floor, he found a door that hadn't been there before. Plain. Metal. Unmarked. He opened it and stepped into silence. A massive room, windowless, colorless, timeless. Inside, dozens of people stood still, unmoving. Glowing slightly. Their eyes blazed. Cameron approached one. A firefighter, ash-covered and breathless, holding a child. Frozen in place. And in the center of the room, a mirror. He looked into it and saw himself. Dead. Burned. Standing among them. The whispers erupted. "We are the forgotten. They never found us. But you can hear us." He stumbled back out the door. Only it didn't lead to floor 65 anymore. He was back on 93. The clocks were frozen. No one moved. But the tower shook again. The second plane. He felt it deep in his chest. And the walls bled shadow. The spirits were rising. Not malevolent. Not angry. Just stuck. As if repeating the moment over and over again. Cameron screamed. "Why me?" The answer whispered back. "Because you listened." 10:28 a.m. The tower gave way. Cameron stood on the 44th floor. He didn't try to run anymore. He simply stood. The spirits gathered behind him, forming a wall of lost souls. As the floors pancaked above him, he saw a door appear, one he hadn't seen before. Glowing. He stepped into it. Weeks later, recovery workers claimed to hear voices while clearing debris at Ground Zero. One worker saw a man in a blue jumpsuit pointing toward an air pocket where 2 survivors were later found. Another described seeing a face in a dust-covered window on a crushed elevator panel. But the strangest was this. A voice recorded on a firefighter's helmet cam. Played back later. A whisper. "Save them, we never left." They say the souls of the dead linger where they fell. But sometimes, if you listen closely, they'll whisper. Not for help. Not for fear. But because they remember. And they want you to remember too. Cameron Daly never left the tower. But maybe, just maybe, he helped others escape it.